Welcome. My name is Barney Reese. I'm the author of How Blessed You Are in God's Promises. Today, we're going to talk about the concepts of the universe becoming the best version of you. I'm sorry for the late reviews, guys. It wasn't my fault. My phone would not work no matter what I tried to do. It kept cutting off. I literally had to delete TikTok and reinstall it. And then I also had to download the newest, I think, 18 iOS to get my phone to work. I tried to delete my videos and everything else, just didn't work. So anyway, I put some stuff on there and I got rid of some stuff. No big deal. It all works out in the end. For you've been following my videos, you're learning how to be the best version of you. The concepts of the universe will become the best version of you is what I call it. It always will. The reason I do these videos for one reason only, to make you the best version of you. Right now I'm studying a lot about financial literacy. Here's the facts, folks. I want you to hear this. This is from Dave Ramsey. If you buy a new car, you lose 70% in 4 years. If you bought a piece of property, you would gain money on that property. If you put a home on that property, making it real estate, you would gain even more money on that property. For you that are struggling, you need to learn to save 10% out of every paycheck you get. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you have to cut your cable off, if you have to cut back going out to eat, whatever. The reason you want to do this is you need an emergency fund of $1,000. This is coming from Dave Ramsey. I recommend 3 to 6 months saved up. This is coming from Dave Ramsey. For you that say that the snowball effect doesn't work, now here's how the snowball effect works. It's very simple. You take your smallest bill and you knock it out, or you take your highest interest and you knock it out. It doesn't matter. On the others, you just pay the minimum on them until you knock out one credit card. People are in debt in credit card debt. Now understand about credit card debt, it is 28 to 30% on an average. So they're making a bundle of money. That's 30 cents on every dollar. So $100, they've made $30 off of you. And if it becomes revolving, that means every 25 days, they just keep gaining interest on you. This is why it's so hard to pay off a credit card. So if you're trying to pay off a credit card, know this. You need to go ahead and pay the minimum and double that or triple that. But don't pay the minimum ever. Because when you're paying the minimum, all you're doing is giving them money. For you that have a secure loan, like a car loan, do like my son did, which was very simple. He bought a $35,000 car. He paid, I think, 5 or 6 years through the Navy Federal Credit Union. I think it was a 4% interest rate. It was a 2018. It was a deal he couldn't pass up. He wasn't paying, his minimum payment was $500. He ended up paying $550 a month. 5 times 12 is $600 in interest alone that he paid on his car. In no time, his principal was knocked out. You can do this with mortgage. You can do this with anything. But you must put it towards your principal, not toward the interest. Some people break up a mortgage into every 2 weeks or every week. Now, what this does is most mortgage companies won't let you do this because if they lose money. How do you lose money if you pay every 2 weeks versus paying every month? What's the difference? The difference is simply this. There's 52 weeks in a year, if I'm not mistaken. You break that down, there's 26 every 2 weeks. For some reason, you end up paying it off quicker. There's lots of ways to pay off your bills. Most of you will live paycheck to paycheck, and sadly, you will have something happen. Your car will blow up. Something will happen unexpectedly. To give you an example, I just did $650 to my son's girlfriend's car to get it running again. We did a lot of work to it. It's a 2000 Honda Accord, very old car, but it's her car, and that's all she had to go, so we made sure it was working. We spent a lot of money to do this. So don't ever think that you won't have an emergency. They just appear. I had another incident happen. I had to pay my land taxes, and I had to pay my home insurance all at one time. That was over $1,000. There's your emergency fund. Are you getting the picture? If you're trying to save money and you can't, you keep doing it. You decide that you cannot live with that. If you've got overtime, that overtime don't go in your pocket. It goes in a savings account. And when you get a certain amount, 3 to 6 months at the most, then you look for another savings account that draws interest 3 to 5%. Then you start investments, whether it be stocks, whether it be bonds, whether it be real estate, whether it be land. You do not invest in 3 new vehicles unless you just absolutely have to. Some people get vehicle poor. Remember, when you buy a vehicle, depending on the vehicle and where you bought it from, how much insurance you put on it, most people want a $500 deductible. I recommend $1,000 or more. The reason is your bill is lower. If you do it automatically, automatic payments because of insurance is almost mandatory in every state now, your bill is lower. Look at California. Houses burnt down, $1 million homes burnt down, and they had no insurance because the insurance companies backed out of this. Now, I think this is highway robbery, and I think these insurance companies should have to pay back all the money that they had taken over the years. If you can't insure somebody when they need to be insured, they shouldn't be in business, period. A lot of people are getting through laws and red tape, but don't think that's you. For you that say, oh, it's a Democrat, it's the Republicans, it's good or bad people. Some of these are just bad people. And these bad people will be in your church, they'll be in your home, they'll be in your life, they'll be on the street, they're on big businesses. You will see these bad people everywhere. There'll be politicians, there'll be all types of people. They usually have some form of power and they abuse it, whether it be the police chief, the fire chief, or some other things. These are just the way it is. Nobody will become good but you. What I'm teaching you will not be taught in any school. You're not going to learn. Well, you can learn from Personal Growth Development by Tony Robbins. I recommend you listen to him. I recommend you listen to Jim Rohn, Les Brown, all the inspirational people. But you're still going to have to do the work. And if you don't do the work, nothing magical is going to happen for you. Well, I want to write a book. You got to write. I want to read a book. You got to read. My advice is to get in habits. For instance, I did 100 push-ups, I did 100 squats, even though I didn't want to do them this morning. It's my day off. I don't want to do nothing, but I did them anyway. After I get out of the shower, I always stretch. What do you mean you stretch? As soon as I leave the shower, I stretch. I always turn the water off for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, ice cold water. And a friend of mine said, man, it wakes you up. It's like shocking your system. I also take sea moss and Shizolite gummies, True Root, I believe is who it is, and I get it off of TikTok. And right now it's on sale for $37 for both of them. That's the only vitamins I take. I do take Baja Gold Salt. I take a pinch of that and put it in the palm of my hand and drink that and put it underneath my tongue and lick it just like you would a salt lick. And I take 8 ounces of water. Why I'm telling you this is 87 minerals in Baja Gold Salt. I don't know about Celtic, but Baja Gold Salt has 87 minerals. This is my habit. Last time I was in there, I'm 53. They checked my bottom number. I think it was 82. So that gives you an idea. My blood pressure is pretty much regulated. The reason you need to do this, you're not getting real food no more. They're taking fiber out of your food. They're giving you high fructose corn syrup. Now, high fructose corn syrup, what it does, it's sweeter than sugar and it's more addictive and it's cheaper to make. That's what's in your Coca-Colas, people that want to drink these. And then they add other things. Aspartame is found in chewing tobacco. Understand something, a lot of these companies were bought. General Mills was bought by Philip Morris. So when you start learning the truth, you can start making your own decisions about your food. Your food's very important. Try to get the best food you can because this is what's going to give you your fuel. So if you wouldn't go out in your car instead of putting gas in it, put sugar in it. It's the same thing with your body. You made of 30 trillion cells, a heart that feels, a mind, 15 supercomputers that have never been completed, and you are automatically connected to the cosmos of the universe the minute you were born. The rest of this stuff is, you just acknowledge it, it acknowledges you. Now, what it is, I don't know. I do know in the Christian faith, he wanted to go to the right hand of the Father. So, Yeshua, Jesus, is where he went, to the right hand of the Father. So, if you are praying to Jesus by what he has studied, that I have studied, you will be praying to the Father, kind of like a grapevine. I prefer to pray to my Creator. I don't know if this person was a shyster. I don't know if he was real. I do know he studied a lot of things. Buddhism, Hinduism, the occult with the droids, probably even witchcraft. He studied a lot of stuff and came back when he was riding the donkey after 30 years of studying and went to teach you what he had learned. And he chose love because, love would keep you out of a fight or flight mode. I hope this helps you today. As always, love yourself, for you truly are well loved. Thank you, and goodbye.